I've discovered a major flaw. There's like a shit. So basically, right, I think this is working. We fixed some stuff last night, but a bunch of stuff. Basically, what happened last night was Aaron thinks the graphics card came loose, is what he thinks happened. Now I'm going to attempt to fix this quickly. Because I've realised this probably won't. Has he got this bit plugged in? Does have it plugged in? So I just don't think the driver was connected. Fair enough. So I think we've got it working. I think everything's working. Like when I go over, I'm going to click back on that for a second because it looked as if we've lost the stream intro. But I think we've lost that because it's all been disconnected. That's probably what's happened there. Like I think I'd have to rehook that up because that'll be on the. Like if I go over to it for 2 seconds, like, yeah, there we go. Aye, we got it. Fixed it. They got it fixed. Basically, I think what happened was the default settings of this kicked in, and that one is turned off, which it shouldn't be. I was probably fucking with things last night. We're also connected to YouTube, so we're going to put in hi YouTube, just to make sure that comes through. Should send to all platforms, I think. Yeah, there we go. So it's sent to everyone. That's fine. Cool. We got it working again. Right. Basically, a lot of shit happened last night. None of it good, to be honest. I've had a bit more time to reflect on stuff, and I'll be honest, it didn't help the scenario at all. Like, I mean, like, even in the remotest, the slightest, has not helped at all. What I do want to check for 2 seconds is that I am getting audio on these headphones because it feels like I'm not getting audio. What is that playing through? That's it. I was like, where is that coming from? I was like, there's no connection there, but we got it now. Basically, a lot of shit happened. We had to fix a lot of stuff. Obviously, I had tech support come in, and he fixed a bunch of stuff. And overall, it's now fine. Computer's fine. The computer itself is fine. Right, I'm going to quickly check if DbD is actually launched, because I've launched that, and then it's not launched fully, which is interesting. So we'll redo what we were doing. But yeah, basically, in the grand scheme of things, UVS Games has decided to pull an absolute crazy 1080-degree full arsehole turn, basically. So when we were reading through the OP structure for last night, the thing that got us the most was simply just out of the fact that we're saying, listen, there's 4 levels of events. You've got your level 1 events, which is your locals. You've got level 2, which is your local championships, which they have increased to being like an actual thing now, like more like a PTC, which was the Pro Tour circuit. They've now increased it to something like that, along with then having a level 3 event being regionals, and then level 4. Oh, see what you're doing. Right, okay, that'll be funny. Let's fix that. I see what's happened. So basically, yeah, DbD, the Windows update has also, I don't know about you guys, but the Windows update is fucking everything up. I don't know, it's been the last couple of updates from Windows since we've done the refresh, right? And it's really messing with the computer. We are getting hit with like all the bugs. So what I'm going to do quickly is let this load in first so I can change the setting, because I know the setting has changed. I can just guarantee the settings changed. I'll fix it, and then we can be able to like rescreen everything again quickly, because it's putting things on big. Converted your blood points. Oh, thank you. Cool. Right, you're on the road to fix this. Yeah, I can just tell. Graphics. Yeah, full screen. Windows. Full screen. Thank you very much. And then that will fix a bajillion things. every update it does this, man. Every update. It's like the weirdest thing as well. Like, I had to update my PC. Should have done it last night, but I didn't. Oh, listen, you're dodging a bullet by not upgrading it. Honestly, at this point, it's actually crazy how often it's bugging stuff out. It's actually been really bad, to be honest. Well, are we allowed? Are we allowed? Oh, yeah. Okay, even Discord's crashing there. There we go. Because I didn't know what screen it was on there. Right. Okay. Sorted. But yeah. So let's see if I can ping this across to the game screen. Oh, that actually worked straight away. Now will this? The audio came in straight away. Now I can't hear the audio on these. I can, but it is loud as dicks. Because the audio, yeah. The audio for some reason decided to go mental. Now again, as I say everybody, if the audio is too loud, if the music is too loud, please just tell me. But don't be like, oh, it's a bit too loud, and then no more feedback. If you're going to report audio issues, I need the initial instance of audio issues, followed by is it rectified. Otherwise, I'm not touching it. Because the other day when we tried sorting stuff, like, Jesus, that is loud. Yeah, because the other day when I tried fixing stuff, it was impossible to figure out if stuff was better. I was given conflicting approaches, so we want that set in stone now, that being the case. But we do have some really cool stuff, to be fair, which I should actually be saying. Let me pull up Twitch on this one. There is a new 2v8 mode, obviously. I'm quite happy to play that, to be quite fair. Just going to ping this up and this up. And this up. There we go. Well, I'm actually going to turn that audio down just a tiny bit more. Like that, maybe. That is so loud. Headphones on. Mute, focus. Right. Cool. That is so loud for some reason. But I'll deal with it, like, I think it'll be fine. But yeah, so basically, if there's audio issues, I need you to be able to tell me it. Stay by the PC. Tell me if it's fixed, if there is audio issues. That goes for any issue, really, to be fair, right? Just because I'm not fixing stuff if it's like, oh, there's an issue, and then no one tells me if the issue's fixed. I'm not going to mess around with it. It takes too long. It delays streaming, stuff like that. But yeah, so basically, there's the 4 level of events, and does this have the killer queue still? I'm going to assume the killer queue is still a thing for this. I'm going to assume it is. Honestly, though, I'd actually like to go Dracula in this.
I am the Lord of Darkness.
Yeah, okay, so we still have the killer queues, that's fine. We still have the killer queues. So basically, yeah, they said so you've got local levels, local championships, which should just be called the PTC, personally. Regionals, worlds. That's your 4 level of brackets of competitive play. And what they have essentially said, thank you, Cerebot. What they have essentially said is if you're in America, you're going to have local play, you're going to have local championships, you're going to have regional championships, and you're going to be able to have all those invite options to get you to Worlds. If you are an international player, what we've been told is you've got your local events. That's fun. That's great, you know. You've got told, oh, you're going to get some local championships. That's fun. One of the two ways to get to Worlds. We've been told to go fuck ourselves. You're not getting regionals. Yep, literally. You've been told to go fuck yourselves. You're not getting regionals because we don't know how to grow the game outside of the Americas, and we don't know how to have big events. And we should be back. That's horrendous, man. This Windows update, man, is so bugged. Just the whole thing. It's like, oh, would you like to restore stuff? And it's like, I put me back on. Jesus. Hello. Yeah, we've got everything working. On the plus side, at least the YouTube thing fired up correctly. Just the whole thing with Windows, man, has just totally bugged everything out. It's so stupid, annoying as well. Like, if it does it again, I just have to cut my losses basically. And by cut my losses, what I actually mean is, so my eld actually was crashing there because I'm trying to upload. I'm trying to turn on DbD. Basically, what's happening here, right, is I've got the two screens, right, and what I'm better off doing is firing this over here, getting DbD to launch, and then going from there. Because what I'm noticing is happening. Oh, that's so silly. That's so annoying as well. Aye, if it keeps crashing, I'll be honest with you as well. Like when it's I don't know why it's doing that. I think we're back on. Yeah, we're definitely back here, but this isn't updating correctly now. Right, okay, it's updating now. Yeah, it's basically just this Windows update has done something. It's bugged somewhere. Something's not right. And so I've tried to launch DbD and it's actually failed to launch. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Let's attempt to launch it again. If it crashes everything and I don't come back, I'm fine. I'm just gonna have to check things out and see what's going wrong. Like the worst case scenario is going to be that I'll end up having to just switch to the laptop to stream. To be honest, and I'm quite happy to stream from the laptop as well. It just requires me to change the setup a little bit and do some funky camera angles when I'm streaming because I'm actually quite high at sitting at the desk, so looking at screens weird. Whereas if I'm on the laptop, I'm kind of more looking down. So does all that. But what I shall say quickly before everything fucking does crash on us, we do have 551 followers. So I do appreciate everyone that is coming over from the TikTok side of things. I think that is fucking fantastic. I hope everyone is enjoying just the random segment. On. The people will see you now. Oh, Jesus.
So
I think we're back. Oh, actually, reset that. Tell us. Well, fucking Discord just tell us something went live. So we're here. We have tech support.
Woo!
It has arrived.
I think that's it though.
I think so. See if you can click on game screen on the meld. Down, look down, look down, left, 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 up one.
I'll be honest, I can't even see it on that screen. Oh, okay.
Invested.
Yeah,
so it seems as if it's working out. So it must have been that update. It must have just been that update. It's mental how fucked that seems to be doing that though.
That's life.
Well, why did I?
There's nothing else that needs changed. Yeah, that should be it.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh, bye bye, audience.
Tell them to stay. Play horror games.
Oh, God.
You should.
Voice for
You don't need a voice for horror. Shut that door, though.
Yeah.
Honestly. Okay, this is just very much a test. I don't think we're going to attempt to see if this works. If it crashes again, I actually just don't know what's up with it. But we're going to make the attempt to see if things work. Attempt to see if things work is basically it. For whatever reason, I have no idea. The update Aaron's like reset a bunch of stuff, so we're going to attempt to launch the game as well. And as I say, if it crashes, we're probably just done for the day. I can't really do it. It's one of those like slightly beyond my pay grades where we've tried to figure out what's wrong with it. We think we might have solved some stuff. Maybe there was some corrupted files and stuff. We've maybe sorted it. Going to see if DbD will launch because it seems to also be tied with that a bit. And we'll just see how it goes. We shall see how it goes. Apologies if you're on the Discord and you've got a million pings today as well. That's a pain in the dick. We'll try and not do that as often. But we shall see, because we've got to do the tests, got to figure out what's working, what's not. As well. No, waiting for... See, DbD is also taking ages to load today, but so far so good. So far so good. Just waiting for something to completely fucking dive bomb now. Right, let's see if this still keeps everything going. I think this still needs to be windowed correctly though. I think. So I'm just going to play it by ear. On the plus side, right, starting earlier, for instance, means that we can fix stuff. We can actually sort stuff out, which is nice. Whereas if I was starting at 5, by this time we're at 6:30, I'd be like, yeah, it's just the days are right off basically. But now we can do that. Yeah, and it keeps changing back to full screen annoyingly. So we have the ability to fix it, but at a pain in the arse level that seems to be causing us issues. But we should be good now. I hope. We can only hope. We can only hope and pray that this works. Seems to be back online. Everything seems to be working. Whatever Aaron has done has fixed it. And we'll wing it and deal with it. We will just try and wrong one. I just remember. No, not that one. We will attempt to just make things work today. Obviously it's one of those ones that we've just... I think it sucks as well because we've had some of the shittest information handed to us as well so far. And it's kind of one of those crap scenarios where I'm like, we've had bad information chucked at us. Things out, other things that I would actually be I am actually incredibly proud of, are working, or not working I should say, as well. And it's finding the best possible recovery of it all. But if this does work, great. I actually did order food because I just assumed everything was going to go tits up. No, it has. It's crashed. The game has crashed. So something's crashing on that end. I think it's DbD. Right. DbD crashed, which means there's something up with DbD. Right, that's fine. Okay. So we can, to some extent, fix this from this end. That one, no, not that one, shit. That one, that one, that one. So it honestly might just be a DbD thing. It might actually just be a DbD thing. It's weird though that it's like launching and stuff like that, and then something's obviously triggering. It's not. It's then crashing. We go here. We go there. Nah, the graphics card and everything's all there, so we know it's found. We know that's fine. Yeah, I think it is just DbD. It might honestly just be DbD. Which is fine because, as I say, like I have food ordered, so I was only wanting to come on to test. If it's DbD, it's crashing and causing the issues. That is what it is. That is what it is. But yeah, basically, we shall go to the topic of the day, which is Universus.cards, and obviously Universus itself, mainly the actual game itself. They have made a right. There is a chance they could try and do something to recover it, but I honestly am at the point of thinking that I think they've cocked it up so badly that I honestly don't know what they could do to recover this. Like, and the fact that I'm getting emails and I'm getting adverts for Riftbound, the game that they also distribute, that's operated by Riot, obviously, and it's like it's on Card Market and it's in the EU, and you're like, you just have to kind of like sad laugh, I guess, a little bit, where you're like, how the fuck can they not? The door must be open. They must be able to get Universes into Card Market. They have fucking connections that should be able to get them in the door, get their stuff on that EU scale to worldwide scale, and somehow, some way, they're managing to totally fuck it up. like, and yet they're spending about 50k, $50,000 on travel vouchers next year for the year of that point. About $50,000 is going to be spent on travel vouchers, and honestly, it's amazing that they're like spending that much money. And that also technically includes us, depending on how many events we get, assuming we get 32. That's assuming that every single one of them is 32. And that also includes the 4 regionals that just naturally have a top 4 getting all their token, all their travel vouchers. And I'm just like, how did they fuck this up? Like, how can they be that fucking stupid to not figure this out? Do you know what I mean? Like it does not, it is a tough game to try and push on people, right? Because you're not dealing with a single IP. That's always been the biggest crux of the game. You're not dealing with a single IP. You're dealing with multiple IPs, but then at the same time as well, that should also to some extent. I mean, we've seen it with cards like the UA one. Like some people, I mean, like literally, there's other card games that are now doing it. Then Magic the Gathering's doing it with all their multiple IP licenses and stuff like that. Now, fair enough, Magic's a bit of its own kettle and fish scenario because it's just naturally got years upon years of just absolute indentured servitude based on its player base that just can't get away from it. I get it. Like, sometimes people will escape it as such and they'll still play a bit of Commander or something like me. But they have a game that has probably the best mechanics in card games. It really does. It is by far like one of the best, and it's tough to market it. But then it's also tough because they don't really do any real form of marketing for it. But then they do all these promotions with TCG Player every year for Godzilla Day and stuff, and they have IPs that people really, really give a shit about. And then they just absolutely underwhelmingly punt it sometimes, and you're like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing with this game? Now we're being told if you're in international, you have to go fuck yourself. Like, that is the only thing they're saying right now. What I will say that is that UVS games are still horrendous at is fucking putting information out. Like, we have a ballpoint of information, but not everything. Like, what we needed to know right there and then was quite literally how many local championships are being divvied out to get anywhere? Basically, that's what we need to know. That's literally what we need to know. How many local championships are being divvied out to all of the regions? Because if it goes off of how I think it will be, which is 40 per season, I think it's going to be 30 American, 6 EU, 4 Oceania. That's just what I think it'll be, because it's double the events we're currently getting. So they wouldn't be lying by saying we're going to get so many more than we already have, for instance. I think that's going to be the case. Like, to the extent of being like, they must be thinking about this being like, well, they can't be unhappy because we're giving them double the events, but we're not getting one addition. We're not getting The problem with not getting regionals is there's 4 levels of the game. There's level 1 at casual, like your store mode one, and then there's level 2, which is what the local championship is. But level 2 only gives one invite to Worlds, or sorry, US Nationals. It only gives one invite to US Nationals away, whereas the regional was given away like 8, I think, or something like that. Something like that. Anyway, like I'll even pull it up so I can get it confirmed and be right on this one. But I'm pretty sure it's like a top 4 scenario. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, ba. See if it comes up. I knew that was going to happen. This will help. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up for 2 seconds. The pricing regionals. So the pricing for regionals was, so the invites go from top 8. Yeah, so 8 invites for a regional. 8 invites for a regional means that the 4 regionals the Americans are getting was that 8, 16, 24, 32 invites. There's 32 guaranteed invites from just their regionals alone. Bear in mind also, these invites, if you get one, pass back. So there's a guaranteed 32 invites there, right? And then on top of all the LCs, that as long as you get, I think it doesn't really matter how many people enter, just first place gets the invite. So we know that there's 32 invites from regionals that are just American, right? Because let's be fucking honest, no one in the EU is really going to travel to these regionals. Like, it's just mainly because, to be honest, there's no fucking game here now. Like, if this is where we're going, there's not enough of a game presence here to really justify spend a lot of money to travel to a regional to try and Hail Mary an invite spot, for instance. So then you've got 40 seasonal events, which means there's 160 total. And in the 160 total, that's like great. There's another 160 players on top of the 32, so 192 players will get an invite to US Nationals, which is actually really cool. The problem is a lot of this stuff sounded it sounded great. It sounded great. It sounded as if like we were about to hit the absolute. I actually, when we were getting this, and they says, "Oh, we're going to update the international scene later," I honestly thought we were about to get everything. Right, I'll be back in 2 seconds though. And we're back for 2 minutes. Oh, right. So yeah, no, basically, 192 invites to Worlds / US Nationals / the Universal Championship. Sounds great. Actually, on paper, sounded beyond amazing. I honestly thought we were about to hit the. I honestly thought we were about to hit like they've figured it out. They've cracked the code. That's what I thought, and I had no reason not to think that either, because it sounded great. The whole thing on paper sounded absolutely fantastic. Now, now we're getting told, oh yeah, that's only if you're American. Sorry, what was that? We have international players? No, we don't want international players. That's what we're being told. They don't want international players because international players essentially are a burden on the game and make the game harder to operate clearly for the small team that is UVS Games. And I just don't know if I don't know if they have the real ability to just say we can't figure it out. At an international level, we can't figure out how to grow the game. Probably because even at a domestic level, the game is also dwindled in numbers as well. Like, you hear it from plenty of players where they're struggling to get a player base going, they're struggling to get people to stick around. And there's things we could do to fix that. There's things we can do to operate the game in a better. Like, here's one of the best things you could do: make the game more casual friendly, right? Because one of the great things is you can go, right, well, this is the game, we're going to get all the competitive players in and we're going to force this as a competitive game. And then what ends up happening is you get the casual people who don't have a space in the game. We had PvE, we had boss battles, right? And I think this was the biggest miss, and I honestly can't figure out how the fuck we missed boss battles being the greatest fucking tool that this game could have had, right? What is, take Magic the Gathering, for instance, right? What is one of the biggest things Magic the Gathering does right, correctly right now, and for all the shit that it does wrong? It does fucking Commander. It does a different type of game that allows you to play with multiple people, and it's not a 1v1 game. That is an absolute fucking easy sell because we had the Critical Role boss battles, and you could genuinely get people to be like, right, well, let's build theme decks, let's build different decks with different characters all the time and take on these bosses and do it like a Friday night magic scene where everyone's playing Commander, where you have your repods and they're all playing against these bosses, and you can make these bosses as fucking intense as you want, but you have that option. You have that ability to make this thing be, it's not a 1v1, somebody must win, somebody must lose. It's always competitive season, it's always go time, and somebody inherently has to feel bad at the end of it. Now you've got it where you have a collective group consciousness that wants to beat this boss, and they want to find the ways to beat this boss and work as a team and work as a community to figure out how to beat these bosses. And you could have had that as something that could have grown the game. Like, this game could have just became a complete PvE game style. I mean, you could have done teams in this kind of format where you could have had genuinely just had team versions of the game where it's like, how fast do you beat the boss? I mean, there's so many ways they could have done this, but they have totally abandoned that option to even like look into it further than the fact that I were sort of getting them back for Godzilla, but is it already too late? I mean, I'm the Godzilla guy, and I'll be honest with you, I am not buying any fucking product from UVS Games until there's either a clear cut, definitive line of what the fuck we're doing, or they just tell us up front, yeah, we are just in house making it a domestic only game. It's all we can operate on. Jasko had to pretty much do the same thing as well. Like, I think this is the thing, it's almost like repeating history to an extent, but I'll be honest with you, Jasko didn't kick us in the fucking dick as hard as what's happening right now. Jasko, when they had the game, basically said, right, we can't give you a PTC event. You don't have enough players, and honestly, as harsh as it was true. We did not have enough players to qualify and justify a PTC level event. Even when we did our own event and we'd actually got a really good turnout for it, it still wasn't. It was still doing slightly better than some of the weaker PTCs in America, but as the bigger PTCs were blowing us out of the water. And then you had them say, yep, you're not getting these events. We can't justify giving the events because the money system just doesn't work at all. Obviously, the voucher for prizing just wouldn't work and stuff. And I get it. I actually didn't. I hated it, but I didn't disagree with it. But then when we got our national event, right? Our national event was free. It didn't cost you a penny to enter that event. And when we got there, they were always way too good at giving us the right level of prizing for our continued support of the game outside of the States. So when they did it, they came over and they said, right, we get it, you had no PTCs, we couldn't give you any, but they gave us every single promo that was attached to every single PTC. I'm fine with having an olive branch come out and be like, listen, we can't support the game. They even basically said it as much as they could. The game was too small to be able to operate on a large scale. And that's how they said it, and that was how they said, listen, we get it and we appreciate you guys. And they were taking a fucking loss just holding that event. They took a massive loss holding that event, but they did it because they said, no, these people are out there and still actually need to get something. We need to do something for them. And that was that. Were they perfect? No. Was there things they fucked up on? Yes. Is UVS in the same boat? Is there things they fuck up on? Yes. Is there things they get right? Yes. It's not a complete clear cut 50-50 black and white. Everyone knows exactly what's happening. But the problem with it is on an international scale, it feels as if, at least from now seeing how Jasco dealt with situations to how UVS games deal with situations, it does just feel like such a kick in the nuts every time they fucking bring up international play because it's a complete waste. I mean, even if you take everything that happened this year as well, they had the option to go to the Games Expo, which would have been the biggest thing they did outside of the States, and let's be honest with you, for whatever fucking reason, they fucked it up. Like, I'm not even going to be nice about it. They absolutely fucking buzzed that up. And that was their attempt outside of the that was their attempt outside the US, right? And they fucked it. And for whatever reason they fucked it, it was fucked up. Everything went wrong. But then they make no fucking attempt to reach out to people to try and alleviate problems either. You've got guys like Brett, you've got guys like me, you've got Murray, you've got a lot of fucking people who would jump through a good few hoops to help them out. I mean, if they had called me and said, hey, if they called Brett and said, hey, can you get to the expo and do X, I can fucking guarantee I would have made the attempt. I mean, I fucking fought with my work just to get this fucking regional weekend off. Like, it's crazy how much they just completely bypass. I mean, even take Sean, who sets up like every fucking event for them. That guy deserves the biggest round of applause for a community member ever. Like, by miles, by miles. Like, that guy does absolutely fucking everything for them and gets zero thanks back, really. Like, it's crazy. But it's bad. They're in a bad spot and they have really made a scenario of an almost unfixable scenario. I mean, we're seeing people that are selling up. The problem is as well, they give you fuck all information. They're still shit at this. They still are shit at giving information out. Just release all the fucking information instead of this. Let's give them page 1 to 3 of a 500-page book and let them figure out the fucking last sentence. It's so stupid. Just give all the fucking information and figure it out. Like, it's so bad. And I don't know how they can recover from this year at all. Like, I really just don't know how they do it. But I'm going to tap out everybody because my food's arrived, and at least we know this works. It was probably DbD, but yeah, I'll be maybe back on later on tonight potentially just to do some more tests.